Ryan Poles and the Bears have made another move in free agency, adding defensive back Nick McCloud on a one-year deal. The news actually broke through McCloud's agency before the team or insiders made it official. So, who is Nick McCloud? He played 4 years at NC State before transferring to Notre Dame for the 2020 season, which gives him some ties to the area. He went undrafted in 2021 but landed with the Bills. Since then, he spent most of his career with the Giants, where he was on the active roster for about 2.5 seasons. That is, until last November, when New York cut him, a move that reportedly didn't sit well with his teammates. The 49ers quickly grabbed him off waivers, and now he's landed in Chicago. McCloud brings depth to the secondary. He's played outside corner, inside corner, and even some safety. On top of that, he's a strong special teams contributor. In fact, when he was released mid-season, several Giants players weren't happy about it. That says something about his presence in the locker room. Looking at the Bears roster, McCloud seems like a replacement for Jaylon Jones, who signed with the Cardinals. Both players have similar versatility and special teams value, but McCloud might offer a little more flexibility with his ability to play multiple spots in the secondary. He's logged over 1,100 special team snaps in his career and has nearly 100 tackles, 10 pass breakups, and an interception. While he's primarily been a special teams guy, he does have around 15 career starts, so he's seen meaningful defensive snaps as well. As of now, McCloud likely slots in behind Tyreek Stevenson. Terrell Smith is the top backup at corner, Josh Blackwell is the backup nickel, and A.J. Epinesa is in the mix, but McCloud might leapfrog him in the depth chart. He's not a lock to make the final roster, but given his special teams background, he's got a solid shot. It's also worth noting that Richard Hightower, the Bears' special teams coordinator, seems to have real influence in these decisions. After the big early free agency moves and trades, the Bears have made several special teams-focused signings, bringing back Blackwell and Biggers, adding McCloud, keeping Travis Homer, and locking in a returner in Devin Duvernay. Clearly, Hightower's voice carries weight in rounding out the roster. Now, will all these guys make the final cut? That's still up in the air, but for now, the Bears are making sure they have plenty of competition in the secondary and special teams. Right now, McCloud probably slots in as the Bears' 4th or 5th corner and one of their top special teams contributors. He's not a guaranteed roster lock, but his versatility and ability to contribute in multiple areas certainly give him an edge. Shifting gears, let's talk about Michigan's Pro Day. The Bears had staffers in Ann Arbor, including Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen, with likely more scouts in attendance. It wouldn't be surprising if Ryan Poles was there too, though there hasn't been confirmation of that just yet. The main attraction? Defensive lineman Mason Graham. If he somehow fell to number 10, the Bears would have to give serious thought to grabbing him. But beyond Graham, Michigan has a deep crop of first-round and day 2 talent, making this a key scouting event for teams looking to strengthen their defense. The Bears' interest in Michigan prospects isn't surprising. They're in the market for impact defenders, and Graham is the type of disruptive force who could fit perfectly in their scheme. As the draft approaches, Chicago will continue evaluating top prospects, and Michigan's Pro Day gave them plenty to think about. The Bears have some real needs in this draft, and cornerback is definitely one of them. Will Johnson fits the bill as a first-round talent. Then there's Colston Loveland, the tight end, someone you'd think Ben Johnson would be very interested in for some 12 personnel looks alongside Cole Kmet. Kenneth Grant is another name to watch. He's a potential first-rounder, though maybe he slips into round 2. But honestly, I'd be surprised if he falls that far. Josiah Stewart is an intriguing player. Big, long, athletic edge rusher. Probably a day 2 pick, but the Bears got a good look at him, along with a few others over the weekend. No surprise there? They're doing their homework on these guys. Now, let's talk about Mason Graham. Everyone freaked out at the Combine when he weighed in at 296 pounds. Well, he's back up to 306. He told reporters he played at around 305, 310 last season, and expects to stay at 310 in the NFL. No big deal, These linemen fluctuate in weight all the time. The plan was for him to cut some weight for the combine, but a heel bruise kept him from working out. Still, I'm a big fan of his game. He moves incredibly well for a guy over 300 pounds. He's an excellent run defender, and as a pass rusher, there's real upside if he can add more moves. Last season, his pass rush win rate was nearly 14%, according to PFF. That's impressive for a college interior defensive lineman. Some people seem to be getting a little draft fatigue with guys like Mason Graham and Tetaroa McMillan, but I haven't wavered. If Graham is there at number 10, I love the pick. It'd be a minor miracle, but not impossible. Unlike, say, Abdul Carter falling to 10. That's just not happening. With Graham, the measurables aren't elite. His arm length isn't off the charts. But watch the tape. The guy can flat out play. He's a 3-down defensive tackle at the next level. Now let's break down the draft range for Michigan's top 5 prospects. Mason Graham, top 10 talent. If the Bears are on the clock at 10 and pass on him, I'd be shocked. Will Johnson, likely top 20, with a shot at sneaking into the top 10. Colston Loveland and Kenneth Grant, both should be first-rounders, probably in the 15-25 range. Josiah Stewart, a solid day 2 guy, likely a second or third round pick, but he's got the physical tools to make it work in the NFL. Michigan had a ton of talent this year, and with the Bears right down the road in Chicago, it makes sense that they're keeping a close eye on these guys. The next step? Seeing which of them get top 30 visits to Halas Hall as we get closer to April's draft. Now, here's the question. Who's your dream target at number 10? For me, I'm all in on Ashton Jeanty. That's the pick I'm riding with. But if Mason Graham somehow falls to 10, that's the definition of a dream scenario. It's a long shot, but not impossible. Jeanty, on the other hand, is more of a 50-50 proposition. What do you think? Who's your dream target at number 10?